The Golden Leaf Foundation was set up to manage part of the North Carolina's agreement with cigarette manufacturers. And since 1999, we've made grants to help the economic development and economic transition of rural, economically distressed, and tobacco-dependent areas of North Carolina. We make grants in agriculture research and development, in workforce development, in education, and anything that will help build our economy in the long run. The foundation was funded with a portion of North Carolina's agreement, its master settlement with cigarette manufacturers that was put into place in 1999. Every year the state of North Carolina receives a payment, and we receive part of that payment to help us do our work. Our board of directors works to determine how to fund things by one is economic development opportunities that are here and now, where we're competing for job creation projects that are available. And we also look at moving within regions to help develop different areas of the state, especially in human infrastructure, physical infrastructure, agriculture, healthcare, and education. Well, the rate of return on our investment portfolio, because we're a foundation and we invest money and use those proceeds to help make grants, is over 6.8% over the last 5 years, beating our benchmark fairly handily. But the rate of investment in our grants is significant. We've created well, we haven't, but the private sector jobs that have been created as a result of our grants total in the tens of thousands. In addition, we've had over $3 billion in private sector investment from the companies that we have helped come and expand in North Carolina. So as a result of the Golden Leaf Foundation's grants making, private sector companies have invested over $3 billion and created over 55,000 jobs in North Carolina already, and there's more on the way. The effect of Golden Leaf's grants making has been the creation of 55,000 jobs, the investment of over $3 billion in capital expenditures in some of our most needy communities. The mission of the foundation is to help diversify and transform the economy of North Carolina's rural, tobacco-dependent, and economically distressed areas. The Golden Leaf Foundation make grants in physical infrastructure, in education and workforce development, in economic development projects that we're competing for right now, in healthcare, and in agriculture. The Golden Leaf Foundation has existed since 1999, and we started off with nothing. Now we have about $850 million in assets. And so the more we earn on that, the more we can invest in North Carolina's truly needy communities to help move the state forward. The LEAF and Golden Leaf stands for Long-Term Economic Advancement Foundation. And we didn't grow in our dependence on tobacco overnight, and we're not going to grow out of it overnight. It's going to take years and a lot of hard cooperation with our partners to make North Carolina the place we want it to be for this generation and the generations to come. North Carolina's success with tobacco was over 2 centuries, and it's going to take a long time for us to diversify our economy away from it. But the longer we do that, the greater we will become. Collaboration in rural North Carolina is essential between ourselves and other grant makers like the John M. Belk Endowment, with the partnership of the North Carolina Chamber and local chambers to help identify those needs of the private sector and enable us to meet them, and with the governmental sector itself. Well, the collaboration between us and other funders dates back to the beginning, and we've invested with some of the historic foundations in our state, especially in healthcare and in education. But our work has grown over time with the private sector, partnerships with the SAS Institute to help invest in school technology, to help use the millennials, the millennials who are very fast with this technology, to help them with learning and help the teachers teach and frankly draw more people back to the classroom. So that's the type of partnership that has been very successful and has resulted in higher graduation rates and better test scores all across even our poorest communities. A conference on collaboration, a discussion on collaboration is essential right now because we've seen increased attention to the fact that some of our communities are doing very, very well and others are not. In order to succeed, we need those communities that are not doing very well to have the benefit of North Carolina's best and brightest, not only ourselves with our foundation, but others who have committed to the vision of a healthy North Carolina, more prosperous North Carolina, no matter where you live. And it is through working together that we take the best knowledge, the best education to help all of North Carolina succeed. And that's why we're all in NC. Well, my vision and the vision of the Golden Leaf Foundation, our board and our staff, is to have a North Carolina where we have better educated people, that more of these young people have the opportunity to come back to the places where they're come after they get their education and live and serve and grow their families, that people are already there, have more opportunities than ever to support their families with high wage, high quality jobs, that companies are moving here and expanding here, and that North Carolina, all of it, from the mountains to the sea, are the place to be, not only in America, but in the world. Well, the challenge of North Carolina is, I think, the challenge faced everywhere in the world. I mean, more people are moving to cities and suburbs than ever before. And how do you deal with that? I think the answer is to make the rural places as attractive as they are. There is a high quality of life. There's a lot of natural assets. There's the traditional values of family and faith there. And that's attractive to so many of our people. And I think those areas can grow. We just have to be focused on our opportunity to build the foundations, all of us, the public sector, the private sector, and the philanthropic sector, to help make that work. We've made a lot of strides. We have the right momentum. We just have to continue it in order to be as successful as possible. Well, the continued success of rural North Carolina is important, as well as the success of other parts, because we don't know where the next great leaders are going to come from in business. We don't know where the next great idea for the next iPod or something like that is going to come from. Could very well come from rural North Carolina. Historically, we have been a state of small towns. It's where our manufacturing base has been, and a successful state is one that makes things, grows things, innovates things, as the governor has said. And I think, too, that in agriculture, we have one of the most diverse agriculture sectors in the world. We have a lot of different climates, a lot of soils, and everything like that. There's increased demand for food and fiber and other products grown on North Carolina soil all over the world. And so we have to be prepared to take advantage of what has gotten us this far and to make it our future as well. In order for rural North Carolina to be successful, for its people to be successful, we have to have all of us rowing on the same oar, in the same direction, focused on the same purpose, to allow for economic opportunity no matter where in the state you live, and to give you the tools to be able to take advantage of the American opportunity. That's all that it's about. Our money comes from the tobacco of North Carolina. It's being returned to those places, and it has to be returned with a great investment in order for us and our partners to be successful. That's why we're all in NC.